Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film family? Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Scott.
My name is Dion.
And today we are unveiling our champion of the first inaugural real March Madness tournament. Well, I guess not unveiling. It's been announced what it is.
And if you're watching this, you know.
Yeah, that's true too. But hey, this is the start, and we're here. We're dressed up. If you're seeing us on YouTube, we're dressed up for the occasion because we're awarding this right here.
Okay, let's
go. The honorary Real March Madness crown to our champion that dominated the comedy division, Smoke Train to Busan in the Final Four, continued to roll with just District 9 in the finals with a minimum win percentage of 76%. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Rush Hour.
Oh, nice. We got an audience. I didn't know if you had one. It's awesome.
Yeah. So well done, Rush Hour. This will, by the end of the episode, conclude our tournament. So
yes.
How did you think it went, Dion? What are your thoughts just on our first time trying this?
Well, I got to tell you, Scott. That's my Dig Vital.
Nice.
This is what the tournament's all about. We didn't have any upsets. It was just straight all the way through. I feel like I sound like the coach from Zoe 101. I say sushi.
Yeah,
that was more like him than Dig Vital. But
you gotta love it. Oh, that's what March is all about, ladies and gentlemen. You see this kid? That's all heart. This kid, and that's what Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. It's all heart.
Yeah. No, it was great, man. Again, we started the tournament. We you initially brought up the idea. So Scott was my original idea person for this, and we kind of talked about it, brainstormed for a bit, and it was fun. I can't wait to do it more next year. We got a bunch of ideas. We both love Rush Hour, so it's not like we ended up having to do a movie we didn't like. So it was something we definitely wanted to do. I don't know if we had ever wanted to do this movie previous. We're probably gonna do it at some point, but
yeah,
the fact that it won, it was just, hey, perfect. And I'm glad that's our inaugural, our first ever.
Yeah,
it's a
man.
Good movie to be.
And I mean, all four were really good. I had only seen, this is the only one that I had seen out of the four. So I got to watch 3 new movies.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them were great. So I'm not surprised now that that's what was picked. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, you had said that Rush Hour, you kind of was expecting to do well. I don't know if you thought it was going to dominate the way it did, though.
No, I did not. I did not think it was going to dominate. I thought it was going to do well, but I didn't think it was going to dominate the way it did.
Yeah. No, I really had no ideas because this was our first time doing it. So I didn't know what kind of response we were going to get, but you guys were awesome. Thank you so much, everyone who voted. It was super fun. Yeah. Next year we're going to do it again. I don't see why we wouldn't. We're going to probably make a few tweaks to improve it. You know, we'll fill out a bracket maybe with our predictions, and I don't know, maybe have a pre-tournament show with the predictions where we announce the seeds and everything.
Yeah,
that could be cool,
100%.
actually.
Yeah.
Like a selection Sunday.
Like we're brainstorming on the spot. Like we're on the fly. We're brainstorming, and then we've also brainstormed some other ideas too. So you guys are getting a little behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Of like,
and if you guys have
process.
like, oh, I really wish we could do this or we could do that. Let us know if you have anything that you think would be a cool addition for next year. But if this is your first episode, we appreciate you for joining. Welcome to the film family. Dion and I were going to talk about the movie. We're going to go through it fully. So spoiler warning, I guess, if you haven't seen it. And then we're going to have our filmies at the end. So our award show, and we're dressed for the occasion again.
Definitely.
Well, still, I guess not again.
Yeah,
but still.
Yeah.
And so make sure you stick around for that. That's always a good time. And Rush Hour. So this came out of the comedy, and came out in 1998, like a classic comedy that I feel like the movie's older, 20 in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Those ones are almost the biggest comedies. I mean, I may be a little biased in saying that because of when we were born in the mid 90s. But what do you think is kind of what made those so special?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like they're all different like stages of like kind of comedy movies. I think the '80s had some pretty good comedy movies too, like like Coming to America, like Eddie Murphy movies. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of slapstick, like what's it called, like Christmas Vacation, like Chevy Chase, like those kind of movies. But I specifically, I think as we got to the '90s and the 2000s, it definitely reached a new level of like raunchy and at least like whether you're talking like American Pies and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it just kind of when you watch those movies, it reminds you it's a representation of kind of what was going on at the time, the jokes that were flying at the time, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I think it's just again, we have like this nostalgia bias, obviously, like you said,
Hmm.
because we grew up watching them. So I think that's what it is. But what about you? What do you think it makes these movies special? Or
I think it's a good point. I think you're right. Like the almost the level of acceptance of what could be done,
Mhm,
because now there's you couldn't make a movie like this.
mhm,
And but even before that, maybe again, I wasn't born, so I don't know for sure exactly, but I feel like maybe it was a little less acceptable to do super crazy jokes. So like at
mhm.
that time, it was moving up and up, like the tolerance, okay, we can go get away with this, we can get away with this. And then it reaches a peak and now it's on its way down where it's like you
Yeah,
can't get away with this anymore. You can't get away with this anymore. So it's maybe just like the things that you can do, but
mhm,
at the same time, like you can have great comedy and it doesn't
yeah,
have to be offensive.
yeah. No, it's true. No, 100%.
So
Yeah, it's all about. And obviously, we're going to talk about as we go through some of the jokes that are in this movie. But there's definitely ways. I think there's definitely different ways you can make certain jokes, and you can. I don't want to necessarily be like, oh no, you definitely can make this movie, but you definitely can make comedies. But it's just the comedy can just be done. Like Deadpool, for example. Like the movie
yeah,
is hilarious, and all of them
right.
are hilarious. And it's like they're not. I mean, I guess they probably offend some people. I'm not going to say it offends nobody, but they're not. It's defensive in a different way.
Yeah, I guess it's more. I think the word you use, like raunchy, I feel like it's
Yeah.
it's more raunchy, but it's not. It doesn't really have a lot of or any race jokes or like sexism
Mhm.
jokes, and not really a lot of sexism in this one. But there's a lot of race jokes in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's what it's all. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. You put it's
Basically, yeah.
it's a Chinese guy coming in a black guy, and they're just riffing on each other and
Yeah.
making jokes, and that's all the comedy is. But like, I don't know, it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
why does it work for you? This movie specifically?
I mean, like I said, I think it definitely comes from like that nostalgia thing, but I think it's just there's like this the awesome. It's like a combination of like you getting Jackie Chan in there, and you're getting to see all like all the stunts and stuff, and it's this perfect like back and forth, like this chemistry. And like I saw a thing that they never actually met beforehand, and a lot of the stuff they did on set was like ad libbed, and not everything, but a lot of stuff was ad libbed, and like the chemistry that was built on that set. And then I think there's just undeniable chemistry between the two of them. You know what I mean? It's just like you can't force that. Like you can't just grab two great actors and be like, okay, let's see if it works. And it might not work for whatever reason. These guys just have chemistry. It's just a funny back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. That's the first note I have as well. Is just that their chemistry is elite. These two
Yeah,
guys, and like these are the two guys of the movie that it's it's all on them, really.
yeah,
Like their back and forth, their dynamic is what makes this movie so great. And if they're not great together for whatever reason, or one of them the jokes don't land, or for whatever reason
hmm,
it doesn't work, but both like Chris Tucker's hilarious. Carter is hilarious. Jackie Chan is super funny
oh
too.
yeah,
You add all of his the stunts, the fighting is awesome, and like the plot is actually really interesting.
yeah,
Like it's a buddy cop movie, but there's a lot to it. I don't want to say like twists and turns. There's not really a lot of that. It's pretty linear the story,
yeah,
but it's very fast paced. Like they just there and then there's jokes throughout. It's not just jokes, and a little
yeah,
bit of like they're going through the story very quickly, going from one lead to the next. They find the guy at the back of the pool hall, then they get the name of someone's, and then they go check into that, and they find the detonator, and then they find out what it is, and like they're moving so fast through the story that like you're locked in. You can't even look away, and you're laughing the whole time. It's so good.
yeah. No, I 100% agree. And it's like that. It's that for whatever reason, it's this classic duo. Now they're like the OG duo, at least for me. Maybe someone can put me on game. Maybe there's an original like Asian black what's it called, duo. But that's
The
that's
Blasian
yeah,
combo.
Blasian combo. Because after this, we got the whole trilogy with them, and then everyone always compared like T Mac and Yao Ming to that. when they were on
True.
a team
Yeah,
together,
that's
and we're
right.
like,
Yeah.
hey, and that's for our generation. I know this generation, like my sister's generation, maybe like both my sisters, we have like like Ja and what's his name,
Oh,
and
Yuki, is that
Yoki,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ja and Yoki, and then also Kai Sanat and his buddy Ray. Like that's just like for whatever
Ah.
reason now that's just like it's just a thing now. You take a black guy, take an Asian guy, and then it's just gonna be straight comedy. I don't know why.
But the Asian guy now, he doesn't have to be doing martial arts at
Yeah,
least.
no, exactly, no, 100%.
That's funny. Those are a couple good new compare. Is that always going to be a thing? You think
I
just
don't
like the
know. I
black
don't
and Asian,
know.
it just
But I
goes
think
well?
the T
Black and
Mac
yellow?
and the T
Can I
Mac
say that?
and black and yellow. I don't know.
Black and
Yeah.
yellow. Hey, it's a good combo, man.
No, it is. I think that song came around that time too. But the T Mac and Yao thing was like perfect timing with it too. Like I think
Yeah.
they just made the third one, and then those guys got together, and everyone was like, "This is Rush Hour, yo." I feel like they actually called it that at one point. I
I think they
swear
did.
they called them Rush Hour. Yeah,
Yeah,
had to have.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned the trilogy, and that brings us to our family meeting.
Okay.
That so I this is the post that I made on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, make sure to do that at the Film Room Pod so you can be part of this discussion. But so I threw up I was curious what people thought. What was their favorite out of the
Mhm.
trilogy? So I
Okay.
threw up the poll, and we got 46%. I said Rush Hour 1.
Okay.
46%, same amount, that said Rush Hour 2, and then
Mhm.
8% that said
Damn.
so no love for Rush Hour 3. But so what are your thoughts on that? Like 1, 2, right neck and neck. Do you agree with that, or what's your
That's
favorite?
interesting. Like I think we talked about this off pod, and I was saying how like the movie I remember the most is the third one. I think it just has to do with age. Like that movie came out in 2007. So like I remember like the other ones I had to obviously go back and watch. I think I actually watched the first like that one when it actually came out. I think I went with my dad or something. So it was more fresh in my mind. And I actually think I watched that first and then went back. I don't think I
Yeah.
watched the first one first. Yeah, so that one I don't. Yeah. That one I remember more. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember like them in Paris or whatever, like the Eiffel
Hmm.
Tower. It just sticks in my mind more. I'd have to rewatch them all again. Right now, the first one's fresh in my mind, so I'm like, this. It is good. I understand why it's up there, and again, it's always the original. But
Yeah.
what about you? What were your thoughts when you saw that poll?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't sure either. I mean, I feel like the first one, yeah, you got to give love to the first one because it's the first one, and it's really
Yeah,
good. Like I'm not taking anything away
yeah,
from it. The second one's great. Honestly, they're all super hilarious. I
that's what I
remember
mean.
the same thing like you. Like the third, them in Paris in that fight on the Eiffel Tower is probably what, like, if I think of Rush Hour, that's the first thing I think of, and that's probably
Yeah,
because I don't know if that is the first one I saw because this movie always was playing on TV.
yeah,
I
that's
remember
true.
when we were young, it was just always on, and my dad loved these movies,
Hmm.
so he would always be watching. So I'd come in like halfway through and see
Yeah.
bits and pieces of it. But the first one I like cohesively remember watching was the third one as well.
Hmm.
But as far as best, like when I watched this movie, I basically watched it for the first time this time because I hadn't seen it in so long. And
Yeah.
like I said, it was I had seen it, caught it in bits and pieces here and there. Um, the second one, same thing. I don't really even remember that much, but the just the fact that it was like no love for the third, I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It's funny you say that. I'm in the exact same boat as you. Like watching this almost did feel like for like the first time. Like I remember there was kind of like a twist of like who the bad guy was when they weren't showing. I'm like, okay, there's a twist. Yeah, I can't remember who it is. And
I
like
did remember who it
you did
was.
remember who it was?
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't remember who it was. And then I also distinct moments I remember. Like I remember them singing "War" together, and I
yeah.
remember like
Who?
the yeah like the opening
What
ding
is
ding
it
ding,
good
all the
for?
Michael Jackson impressions
Oh
too.
yeah,
Like I remember all that stuff. But yeah, plot wise, it felt like the very first. I don't even remember the second one. Like I couldn't even tell you again. The third one, again, all the things you mentioned, and I remember like everybody likes kung fu fight. I remember that song was in it. I thought it
yeah.
was in this one, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not this movie.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, and
was,
like the girl with the wig, and like that's something
yeah,
that but that's in the third one as well. So yeah, the second one I really don't remember that much either. We gotta watch it again.
yeah.
We're gonna do the
Apparently,
second one
I might do the
because
second one. Yeah, 100. I might just watch. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, just watch it. You
Yeah,
don't have to wait for the podcast. You can
yeah.
just
No,
watch it.
only for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too, and they're on Netflix, so they're easy to get to.
Yeah,
But
exactly. 100%.
um, I have I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's not a quiz, but I'm
Mhm,
curious to hear if you can get this right. So Jackie Chan,
mhm.
I just want to show some love to Jackie Chan, absolute legend.
Oh yeah,
He
100%.
was born in 1954, and he started acting in his first movie that he's credited in is 1962, so he was 8.
Wow.
And this movie came out in 98. I was looking through his discography, or
Mhm.
not discography, filmography.
Yeah.
And so between 1962 and 1998 to when this movie came out, which is his first big one that he had in the US. He had one other before this, but didn't really catch any steam. So
Yeah.
between 62 and 98, how many movies do you think he's a credited actor in? There's a few that he's not, that I took out, where he if he's just like an extra,
Yeah.
or sometimes he worked behind the scenes like stunt coordination and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So as a credited actor, how many do you think he was in before this movie?
That's a good question. I know Jackie likes to work, and he's probably been liking to work since day one, and that's a long period of time. If he started at 8,
Yeah, that's
dang,
36 years.
that's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 20. That sounds crazy, but like at the same time, I almost feel it's too low. So I'm gonna rock with 20. Does he have 20 credits before Rush Hour? That's the question, right?
That's the question. Yeah.
Okay,
You're going with 20?
I'm going with
Locking it
20.
in? The correct answer is 81. Bro, I was
What?
I was looking at his filmography and I just kept scrolling on the page. I was like, when is this gonna end? This is insane. So I was like, okay, I gotta bring this on the podcast. He was credited, and like I said, there's some that I left off the list because he was an
Yeah,
uncredited extra, or he was doing stunt coordination behind the scenes, and like, so 81 movies he was in
that's crazy.
before 1998.
That's crazy. I didn't, that's crazy. I didn't scroll that far down. Like all I did is like just check a couple of movies before Rush Hour, because I know he was in like something called like the cop, like the what's it called, Police Story. That was like
Mhm.
those are like his movies. There's like 6 of them, I think. And but 81.
81 movies, and he directed 11 of them.
That's crazy. Was he
This
what?
guy
He's
is
12. Like when?
yeah.
When
Well,
did he?
I don't know. I didn't write down when the first one that
Yeah,
he directed, but no, he
that's
wasn't. I think he
insane,
was older than
man.
12. But 81 movies
See, like I was
is
thinking that
crazy.
number. I was like, let me go high, let me go 50. And then
Yeah,
I brought myself back down. I'm like, no, that's crazy. Let me go a
yeah,
little low route. And even 50 would have been too low. I was gonna say 50 as my high end.
yeah. Would have been a lot low. Would have
Oh
been
my
significantly
goodness.
low.
That's
81 is
insane.
ridiculous,
It's insane,
and they're
man.
mostly like Chinese action movies,
Yeah.
which is to be expected. I mean, he's an
Yeah, I know.
action star,
Yeah.
but yeah, I saw that and I was like, there's no way Dion's gonna get this right,
Oh
but I had
my
to ask.
goodness. That's insane, man.
81 is ridiculous.
That's insane. Shout out Kobe, yo. Just dropped 81, yo. Doing 80 when Kobe
Oh,
dropped
facts.
81. But okay, well, I got a question for you. This
Oh,
isn't
okay.
a quiz. I mean, I already told you about this, so I'm
Oh,
not just
yeah.
putting you on the spot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but so we were talking about how Rush Hour, like with the comedy and stuff, and like Rush Hour is among like a long list of movies that I would say don't age well, or you couldn't really make today. But what are 3 comedies that you wait, or let me say it again. What are 3 comedies that you really like that wouldn't fly today?
Well, do you want me to just name all three right off the
Well, we
bat, or
go
do you want
back
to go
and
back and
forth. You
forth?
go one,
Okay.
and I got 3 as well.
Well, the first one I have written down is Borat.
Okay.
I mean, that's just like, it's just walking offenses and
Yeah.
racism, sexism, everything. I mean, it's hell, that is not getting made today.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, they did like before COVID or during COVID, they made like another Borat, but it was I didn't see it, but I imagine that it wasn't the same energy as the first one.
Yeah, it's just
I,
maybe same energy, just a little toned down because I didn't see it either. But
yeah,
that movie's no,
yeah,
could not, because I mean Sacha Baron Cohen even in real life is pulling stunts and doing wild shit.
yeah.
But
No, it's true. Yeah.
I can't see that getting made today.
The first one I think of is the South Park movie, the one that
Mm,
came out like in the 90s. Guys, like bigger, longer, uncut, whatever. That movie's wild. Like
yeah.
on all fronts, like that's my number one of movies that like I've seen so many times. And ironically, as a kid, like in elementary school, and that movie, I haven't watched it recently, but I just remember just how wild the jokes are. And there's literally like a scene where like Cartman has to like say a bunch of offensive things to like take on Satan, and he's just saying like every slur and curse word, and, like I could even think of, and I'm like, this is crazy. But
Yeah,
South Park's number one.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. The next one I got is Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. literally doing blackface.
yeah,
That's not happening. You
yeah.
can't do that today. You cannot. That cannot.
Duh.
No, that's not happening.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. And that's a move I really love too. The other one I have is like The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler
Mm,
remake. Because I didn't
yeah,
even realize that it's a remake. There's another movie called The Longest Yard, and Adam Sandler one's a remake. But I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have. Yes.
Yeah, that one's pretty wild too. Just like with
Yeah.
the racist characters, like
And
saying the
with
N word.
the like the lady boys or whatever that are
Oh
in
yeah,
prison.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Tracy
just a little
Morgan's
wild.
one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of wild stuff. There's a lot of wild jokes, a lot of wild things said, but that's
Yeah.
a movie that still makes me die. What about you? What's your last one?
Good one. The last one I had is I wrote I wrote White Chicks
Okay.
just because like it's not blackface, but it's whiteface. I mean,
Yeah.
they're it's still not good, and
Mhm.
it's in theory just as bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a ton of like super edgy jokes, but
Mhm.
you also have Terry Cruz's character who's like aggressively pursuing
Yeah.
the guy, one of the guys that, and he's I think he even drugs him at one point or
Yeah.
tries
Yeah,
to.
he
Like,
does.
that shit's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, that's not that's
Yeah.
not flying today.
Yeah, no, that definitely not flying today. The last one I had was not as well known movie, but Balls of Fury, which is
Oh
almost
yeah,
on it's on you know that movie?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's almost on par with this movie because it's a lot of like Asian culture being made fun of. Like freaking Christopher Walken is like wearing like the, he's basically a white dude and his character is Asian. Like he's kind of talking in an accent and he's like
Yeah.
dressed like in in the garb and everything and he's got like yeah, it's pretty wild. But the movie and Terry Crews is in that one too actually. I just realized we
Oh
said
yeah.
Terry Crews. Are you Terry Crews in White Chicks, Terry Crews in Longest Yard, and Terry Crews is in Balls of
Yo,
Fury too.
yo, we gotta watch out for that guy. He was doing some edgy shit, man.
Yeah, apparently, man.
Damn, Terry.
But yeah,
It's a little
those
wild.
are my top three.
Yeah, those are, and Rush Hour, of course. This is one of them too. That
Yeah, no,
I don't.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like you could take the concept and do it
Mhm.
again. Well, they did have that remake, didn't they? There was a Rush Hour remake with these two younger guys. I can't remember
Oh,
who
like
it
a
was,
TV
but
show or something?
I don't even.
I
It might
think it
have.
was a TV
Was it a
show.
TV show? You might be
Yeah.
right.
It's kind of like what they did with Training Day too. They're like, let's make this into a TV
Yeah,
show. Everyone's gonna love it.
I don't think anybody watched it.
Yeah, I don't think so too.
I didn't.
I do have to give you one pushback thing on the White Chicks thing. It's not the same equivalent.
No, it's not.
It's not the
It's
same
not.
equivalent.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
That's why I said
Yeah, when you're like kind of like sort of, but it's not because there's no like historical precedent of like whiteface.
yeah,
Yeah.
but still, I feel
No,
like
but
it
still
shouldn't be
no, but you
done.
still couldn't. No, and you still couldn't. I feel like you still couldn't do it.
Yeah,
It just yeah, people would be like fake outrage because they wouldn't really care. I don't think anyone would really care that much. Maybe fake outrage, like what? Imagine this was the other way around. I'm like,
right.
okay,
Yeah, exactly.
you
Yeah.
don't really care. You just want to
No,
argue.
100%. Yeah, I don't think it's on the same level as the other ones, but I still think it would have to be changed.
Yeah, no, that's
It would
true.
have to be changed if they
I
made it today.
agree.
And it's one that I like. Funny
Yeah,
movie. All right. Did you have anything else before
no, that's all I
we
got.
jump
That's all
into
I
the?
got. We'll jump right
All
into
right.
it.
Well, we start. We meet Lee, Jackie's
Yeah.
character, and Carter,
Mhm.
Tucker's character. They kind of both get their moment at the start of the movie. Lee's kicking ass on the boat. We meet the Chinese consul and Soo Yung,
Mhm.
and then Carter gets his moment. He's booking this guy with the C4, but he's also
Yeah.
like half undercover because he's talking shit to these cops. It's funny. What did you think of the start of this movie?
Well, my first thought was first of all, badass moment, just like Jackie I kept doing this, and I probably will keep doing this. Keep saying Jackie and Lee and
Yeah.
Chris and Carter, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Lee kind of gets his badass moment, like reclaiming all the artifacts and all that stuff. And then, like you said, on the flip side, we get Carter, who's going after Chris Penn. Chris Penn, and I have to say that I always felt like Chris Penn, and ever since I saw like Reservoir Dogs, I always felt like he had like this Jonah Hill kind of vibe to him. I don't
I
think
could
they
see
look
that.
exactly alike, but I was always like, this guy reminds me of Jonah Hill. And I remember I looked up to see if I was crazy. I saw there's a whole Reddit thing on it, people talking
Oh,
about it. I'm like,
shit.
okay, I'm not alone on this.
Yeah.
For whatever, I just had to point out because I always felt like they had. I always imagined them flipped in each other's roles. I'm like, I could see this
Yeah.
guy in Wolf of Wall Street. He could do it.
Yeah, or Moneyball, or
Yeah,
being the
exactly.
smart guy. I could see that too. I mean, Jonah Hill, he kind of had a career shift. Like, he started out in comedy, doing Super Bad and
Yeah.
and this is the end and all the he was just like the funny fat guy. And then
Mhm.
he lost a bunch of weight and was doing real movies. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's a star.
No, 100, and he kind of got it back. He's like half, I mean, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because Chris. I always say it's like he's Chris Pine or Chris Penn. I cannot Chris Pine because Chris Pine's a completely different guy. Chris
Mhm.
Penn
Mm.
reincarnated because Chris Pine died. Penn.
Pe-
Chris died in
yeah.
2006, and Superbad came out in like the next year or so, and that's when
Oh
Jonah Hill
shit.
popped off. So I'm like,
He
he's like, I'm
sucked the
gonna
life
steal this
force
guy.
out of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal this
It
guy's whole
stole his acting
flow.
ability. It's like Space Jam. He like touched. He sucked it through a. It wouldn't be a basketball. What would it be if there was a movie version of Space Jam? What would the item be that contains the like a film reel or something?
I guess so. Yeah, I was trying to think of like a super bad reference, like a picture of like a
Oh,
penis or something, or like, or if it was like if it happened after Reservoir Dogs or whatever, like a gun or
a
something. Like I
gun.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, that. What about you though?
That's a
How'd
good
you feel about?
comparison though. Like I never really
Mhm.
thought of it, but I could totally see it that they just just give off the same energy. There's not even really
Yeah.
a way to explain it, but I could see it. Yeah, I like you're right. Like Jackie kicking ass on the boat right as soon as we get into it, we're like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This guy's like jumping through tiny windows that are 6 feet in the air, and I mean, every time he has a gun, I know he's not going to shoot it. That's one
Yeah.
thing that I was like, why isn't he? Because he gets the gun and he has two guys in front of him, and
Mhm.
then they both get away. And I was like, why didn't you just shoot? Well, I guess only one of them does, but I was like, why don't you just shoot him? Like he's
Yeah.
always pointing the gun, like don't move, and then he runs away, and I'm like, Jackie, come on, bro. But to see him fight like hand by hand,
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. And
No,
he's awesome.
100%. 100%. And like this is exactly you're getting exactly what they're kind of setting the table of what this movie is going to be. Like you
Mm.
see the badass action from him and there's action with with Carter's character too, but like you're mostly seeing the comedy. It's like, "Oh, here's your action, here's your comedy. Get ready cuz you're going to get a bunch of this throughout the rest of the
Yeah,
movie." It's like
that's a
very
great point.
in like the first 5 minutes this is what you're getting or maybe
Yeah.
probably like first 10 minutes actually.
Yeah, you're right. That is a really good book because Carter, you're right. He has action, he fights, but it's kind of just like showing that he's the slow American that
Yeah.
can't keep up with these like Chinese acrobats, basically, and
Yeah.
Jackie doing all this badass shit. So like, yeah, he fights a little bit, but it's mostly him just kind of like Jack Sparrow, just getting lucky a lot and just
Yeah,
fighting in such a
basically.
ridiculous way, and it just works out for him. He's cracking jokes the whole time.
That's a good
But I mean,
comparison.
he pulls, dude. When we first see him, he pulls up. He looks like I wrote down like Alonzo in Training Day. He's got
Mhm.
like the big black leather jacket,
Yeah.
the pendant. It's not my fit check,
Okay, yeah. It's
so
not
a
mine
little
either. So you
spoiler
can keep going.
because
Yeah.
but I had to shout it out.
Yeah.
He looked tough.
No, 100%.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
or go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say my thing is like when the cops come at him and they're like, "Yo, put the gun down," and he's kind of just like, "Yo,"
Yeah,
like why didn't he just like flash his badge really quickly? That dude was on the ground or like he wasn't looking, like
yeah,
just quickly like, "Yo," and then get out of here versus just like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's not a good look. It's just like you're some random dude like looking at a guy's trunk. You gotta like give them something.
Because like even if how would they act like they just left the situation not by but by not having a cop tell them to do that. You know, because if he's trying to not blow his cover, if Carter's trying to like stay in character so that
Yeah.
Clive thinks he's actually a bad guy person,
Mhm.
for lack of a better word, how are they just gonna like walk away? The cops are just like, oh, sorry, I guess I didn't see anything, and walk away. Like, wouldn't Clive then be like, wait,
Yeah, I
did you
guess that's
tell them to
true.
get it? You know what I mean? Like, how? I don't know. It's just a weird situation.
It is a weird situation, but my first thought was just like, you're part of the same like. Well, I don't know if you're part of the same like station or whatever, but you're both like LAPD. Like you guys should
Yeah.
have like a sign or something. Be like, if you hit him up with like the like West Side or something like that, it's just like, oh, he's undercover. Like, I don't know. I don't
Right.
even know if that's a real thing. I don't know if
I
there is like a sign that like cops have where it's like, hey, I'm undercover, that only they
I
would
don't
know
know.
about.
I
I
don't.
mean, I guess we wouldn't know it. We shouldn't know it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a good
But
point.
I don't know if they do have something.
I don't know either. Then we get our Family Guy moment. So
Yes, I had that written.
when Soo Yung gets captured, so we have Sang, who's Jun Tao, who's the big bad.
Yeah.
It's his like right hand man. He stops her car and he says, "Oh, is there?" He's dressed as a cop. The guy says, "Oh, is there a problem, officer?" "No, no problem. Just rush hour."
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. I was watching the movie. I immediately pointed at the screen, and thankfully Eloise was there, so I didn't look completely crazy. I was like, hey, the Family Guy moment just happened.
Yeah,
That's
there it is.
awesome.
There it
We don't
is.
get it all the time. We don't get it all the time. But when it's
No, you're
that
right.
glaring,
Yeah,
it's just like, okay.
they knew what they were doing with this one.
Yeah.
But also sometimes like we get it a lot. Like it's almost like if you like last week, District 9. They
Yeah.
say District 9 a bunch
Oh,
in the
yeah.
movie.
Where
And
we
you're
don't
not
even,
it's
yeah.
not really a Family Guy moment,
Nah.
but this one like yeah.
Because,
If it's too much or not enough then it doesn't work, but like this one they placed it in there. They're like
yeah.
rush hour. We're like yes, yes.
No, 100%. And that's what I think that's where the Family Guy moment thing comes from, where it's like, it's not so much where if the movie is just like, uh, if it's something that people just wouldn't say, or I guess
Right.
you would say Rush Hour, but it's just so on the nose. Again,
Yeah.
like a perfect example you said is District 9. Like if in There Will Be Blood, if someone said that sentence, it's like that is so unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that was put in there because someone wanted to have
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little moment. Like, and that's how the Rush Hour thing felt.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Because he didn't have to say it. He could just pop the dude.
exactly, because that's what he does 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the face, but no, he had to get his close up and be like, "No problem, just rush hour." But he almost needs to like pull down his sunglasses and go, "Yeah!" Like it's
That's
just
some CSI.
yeah, it's some CSI
100%.
shit.
Because when we talk about it more, it's like, bro, you could have just popped. Why even bother give the guy an explanation before you kill him? What?
For the movie magic, Dion.
Exactly, which is great. I wonder if
Uh,
like did sorry, so what were you gonna say?
well, no, go ahead. I was moving to the next thing. So
Oh, okay, no, I was just thinking. I was like, do you think in this movie was named beforehand, and they were like, because sometimes I always wonder if it's like you like, oh, we have like a working, because there's always working titles, you know what I mean?
mhm.
And then maybe like you have like a working title. It's like, oh, maybe they're going black dude, Asian dude. That's the name of the movie or whatever, because they don't have a name. So that's just the working title. And then like they're watching the movie and he's like, no problem, just Rush Hour. And they're like, ooh, I kind of like
Ah,
that. Like maybe we should go. Or if it's just like they did the opposite, it's Rush Hour, and like, okay, how do we force it in the? How do we get that
right.
line in there?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
That's a good question. Because at the end of the day, like this Rush Hour has nothing to do with this
That's
movie.
what I'm saying.
Like the concept of Rush Hour before and after, like has nothing to do with this movie. So yeah, that's a great question. Like, why is this even the title of this movie? It
I
sounds
don't
good.
know.
Like it just rolls off the tongue
Yeah.
nice. And now like we associate it with this movie. Like it's just what it is. But
Mhm.
why did they even come up with this? Didn't no one ask? Like, why is this movie called Rush Hour?
Yeah, don't know. Well, watch the movie. About 20 minutes in, you'll get
Yeah.
it.
That's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you're right. He just hit that line so hard and they were like, "Okay,
Yeah,
that's our
that's it.
movie."
That's
Maybe.
how it felt because the line
Yeah.
was delivered so hard. I'm like, ooh.
So Soo Young gets taken and then like basically the next shot
Mhm.
is her dad like the FBI telling her dad. And
Yeah.
my question is, how the hell do they know that? How do they know? Like usually if there's a missing person or something, he would realize, oh, I haven't seen my daughter in a couple days, and then he calls the cop. How do they know that Soo Young's missing?
It's a good question.
They know it instantly.
Yeah.
They're like,
Which is
hey, someone took your daughter.
part of me was thinking that like, oh, is the FBI? Because I was thinking that was the flip. I was like, is the
Mm,
FBI on it? That's
right.
why I ignored it because I was watching like, oh, they know because they're the flip people. So I was just sitting there with think. But now we've watched the movie. Now we're talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
It confused me, but hey, whatever. Um, so then we get like the plan, basically the how these two are gonna come together. They want Carter to distract Lee. He's gonna come in. I forgot that this was kind of how they got together. Like again, I
Yeah.
was kind of watching this movie for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect setup
Mhm.
to get these two characters to do their own thing too, like separate from the rest of the police. The FBI doesn't even want them. They think Carter's this stupid big mouth idiot, and they just think Lee's gonna get in their way. So it's like, yeah, you just go distract him. First thing that he says as he gets off the plane, he calls him Mr. Rice-A-Roni.
Yeah, I know. I wrote that down.
Insane.
Insane. Like, yeah, I had all that shit down. I was like, this is where the run of wildness goes. It's just like he's like, oh, you better do something. I'm gonna drop him off a Panda Express. And then the wild line after that is just like when they go to Chinatown. He's like, I was like, I've never been there, but it's probably just like it. And he's like, oh, stick around. Maybe you'll meet one of your cousins or something. I'm like, that's
Crazy.
wild. Absolutely crazy, man. I'm like, it's wild.
It's
Yeah, I don't know.
wild.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
wild. I mean, Lee just accepts it. I mean, what is he gonna do? I guess.
yeah. That's the thing with having. I've realized with the younger sisters too, and like I watched I think Rush Hour 3 with my youngest sister, and like she was so young at the time that like she didn't think make anything of it, but now she kind of is thinking back, and like when I watch these kind of movies where I'm like, oh, I want to show them like a funny comedy, I get that sense, like I get this uncomfortableness where it's just like I'm laughing, and it's just like, oh, they think this is actually kind of messed up, which it kind of is, and I'm just like, damn, I feel bad for laughing at this.
Poor Jackie, man.
Yeah, man.
Because
But
I mean,
yeah,
he knew what this was like coming into the movie, obviously, and I'm
yeah.
sure he was like totally fine with it. Because I mean, he makes jokes about black people a little bit throughout the movie. He
Mhm.
says the N word
Yeah.
in the movie, so he gets to I don't want to say get back, but like
Yeah.
he gets his moments to make fun of the black community. So it's not all one sided, but
Yeah.
you're right. It's pretty edgy.
Yeah. My thing is that with it, like obviously we can't speak on like what we is offensive because we're not Asian. So we can't be like, well, the jokes aren't that bad. Like it's not that offensive. It's like, well, we can't say it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
not our experience. But I always feel like and it's not just black people. Like a lot of people like bust balls and roast each other. But my thing with it, and I think it makes more sense like as the movies progress. That's like you a big thing in the black community. And again, I'll say everybody like roast, but like with us, it's like we roast the hell out of each other. And like
mhm,
that's the thing like you do with friends. And like when he's first roasting Jackie, it's a little bit like from like a rewatch, like a different mindset. It's a little bit uncomfortable because it's like you don't really know this guy. It's not your friend. Like if it was your Asian friend and you're
right.
making freaking like rice aroni jokes and whatever, and he's just like, man, you stupid. You know what I mean? And like maybe he makes a joke back, but it's just like you don't even know this guy and you're just going with all these Asian jokes. It's kind of wild. Like you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't
Yeah.
just make like Asian jokes to dudes you don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that is a really good point. I mean, by the end of the movie, they're buds,
And then that's when it
and
feels okay somewhat.
exactly, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're laughing it off and they're going back and forth with each other. But you're right, like right off the that's what I said, right off the plane, he calls him Mister
That's
Rice-A-Roni.
what I'm saying.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like
Yeah,
that's a classic line. And that
facts.
one's not as wild because it's just like he just what does oh, this guy doesn't speak English, but it's wild.
But I mean, that is like a stereotype too, because Jackie, like later on when he speaks English, he's like, "What? You speak English?" He's like, "Yeah, I never said that I couldn't. You never even
Yeah.
asked me." Yeah, I just because I wasn't speaking, but that doesn't. You just assumed that I couldn't.
No, 100%.
Which is a great point. I mean, at the end of the movie when obviously I'm skipping all the way to the end, like when they're on the plane and the Asian like stewardess comes and asks if he wants nuts and he answers her in Mandarin
Yeah.
and Jackie's like, "Wait, what? You speak Chinese? I
Yeah.
didn't think you did." And he throws it back at him like, "Oh, well, you never asked. You just assume." Does he actually speak Chinese or did he just learn those couple words?
Yeah, I feel like you just learned those words.
Okay, yeah, I think so too, but
You know, it's funny we were talking about Get Back. I had it written down that like Jackie could have got his Get Back with him, where he made the joke about like, oh, like maybe you'll see one of his cousins. When they went to the pool house, he should have been like, oh, these are your cousins.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
ironically, one of them was.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would have been a kind of funny joke. Be like, shut up. I mean, one of them is, but
You're right. That would have been good, actually.
yeah,
Yeah. What one more shot or one more shout out or point I guess I had before
yeah.
this moment in the pool house was when he's Jackie starts running away, right? Because
Oh
he
yeah,
knows that Carter's just trying to keep him away from the situation. He's trying to get to the console so he can start investigating this
yeah,
case. And he gets on the bus, and then Carter climbs up and he pulls out the gun, and everyone's like,
yeah.
"Whoa, what the fuck?"
yeah.
It's like, "It's okay, it's FBI. Take a
Yeah.
picture." And
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
poses, and he
Yeah, that was
poses
great.
for all of them to take a picture while they're about to have like a gunfight. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. That
No, it's
killed me.
absolutely great. No, I love that. I had that written down too. I definitely didn't want to skip over it because that was dying. And just Jackie's escape too was badass.
Oh yeah,
Like him jumping off, going into the RV and sliding into the taxi. I'm like, this guy, man, he's just showing off at this
it
point.
was sick.
Oh, it
And
was so sick.
I mean, that's kind of like it could be a nitpick maybe on the movie where like Jackie throughout the whole movie is this martial arts wizard. He's climbing buildings, he's beating people up, he's doing all this crazy shit, and Carter's just fumbling around.
Yeah.
How the hell does he catch up to him?
It's a good point.
There's no way he should be able to catch up to him.
No, you're right. I don't know.
Oh,
I
well.
don't know.
I'm not here
He's
to nitpick, though.
LAPD. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. No, he's FBI at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's true. At this point, he's
G13
FBI.
classified.
Yeah. I like that too. He's like G14 classified. That's a good one. That's a
it's
good one.
good.
It's good.
So then we get the scene at the bar, the pool bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee says, "What's up, my nigga?"
Yeah.
twice to the
Yeah.
guy to the guy at the bartender, and then
Mm.
the whole bar has this guy's back. The
Yeah,
whole
I
bar
know.
starts fighting Jackie. Insane.
That should we just put that clip out. I'm like, this is what happens when you say the N word. A
Yeah.
whole everybody in sight is gonna come trying to attack you. It's absolutely crazy. You know what? I what's it called? Now with this we can actually talk on because anyone that's listening, maybe like I don't know if you knew that me and Scott are black. So like the use of the N word in this, like how did you feel? What's your thoughts on it? Like or just the use of the N word with humor, because I mean, like it happens all in like a lot of Tarantino films, and then specifically in this. What's your thoughts?
Well, for this one, I I feel like it's unfair if we have a problem with it
Yeah.
because of all the Asian comedy. Like they're just
Yeah.
making fun of a lot of Asian stereotypes.
Mhm.
So it'd be pretty unfair for us to be like, oh, that's hilarious. He's taking him to Chinatown, calling him
Yeah.
Mr. Noodles or whatever the thing was, and
Yeah.
but he can't say the N word. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if we're gonna go that far on in this side, we got to be able to accept it on this side.
No. And I agree too, especially in the sense of like in the context of the joke too.
Yeah.
Because when I actually forgot to, and then Eloise even said it too, like she didn't say the N-word, but she said but she said like when he said follow my lead, and then he said like what's up my nigga to the dude, and I was like, oh snap. And she's like, is he gonna say it? And then it didn't happen. I was like, oh, I think it's gonna happen later. Which is like it's
Yeah.
a good setup for the joke because you kind of forget about it. And then you're like, oh shoot, he's about to follow his lead. Like you see
Right.
the little smile on his face. So I think it's just a good use of it. It's not
Yeah.
like him just saying the N-word. Like he's on the phone, he's like, oh yeah, like I'm stuck with this N-word. You know what I mean? Where it's just
Right.
like, okay, that's wild. Like
Yeah.
there's no joke here. He's just kind of
That's just racism.
Yeah, he's just calling someone the N-word. But like in this sense, it made me laugh, and I was like, I don't mind it, especially like you said in the context of like we're already making all these Asian jokes. I'm not gonna be like, hey, how is he
Yeah.
gonna say it?
Yeah.
Man called him
Yeah.
rice-a-roni. Like
Exactly. You can't call a man rice-a-roni and then get mad when he says the because you're right. Contextually, another thing is that he has they have this whole language barrier, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't even know what that means. Like
Exactly.
he says it with he does have no ill intention, right? He says
Exactly.
it says like what's up? Like he's
Yeah.
saying he thinks he's saying like what's up, my friend, or whatever,
Yeah,
because that's what
exactly.
Carter does when he comes in. So he was like, okay, this is a word American slang, I guess,
Exactly.
for friend. So that's why he even says it again, because he's like, well, what's the problem? Like,
Exactly. And no one ever tells him. I know they just start fighting. Be like, yo, you can't say that. Like, you know what I mean?
they just immediately start swinging, hitting them with pool cues, and but we get a great fight.
We do
Jackie
get a
Chan
great
kicking
fight.
ice,
That's
kicking
just
ass.
it's just funny to think that nobody said anything.
Yeah,
Because he's again like, yeah, the one dude swings on him, then everyone's like, he never was like, yo, what's going on? Like, what's the big deal? Like, yo, you said that, don't say that. It's just like they're just swinging on him.
that's a good point. Do you think the people like at the front of the like that are playing pool in the 10th pool table, they didn't even hear that?
That's
They just saw them fighting and they just joined in. Damn.
I don't know, man. It's just go for it, man.
So then they get into the consul's house. Again, the
Mhm.
FBI is trying to keep them away. Jackie climbs the wall and does this
Yeah.
crazy shit to get in. It's pretty sick. They get the call for a $50 million ransom. And Carter gets this call. Like he picks
Yeah.
up the phone and they're like, no. Like we needed to answer it. But he starts talking,
Yeah.
doing his Carter thing where he's just
Mhm.
nonstop talking throughout this whole entire movie, basically.
Yeah.
And my thing, like he's even joking around with the guy on the phone, and the console's right there. I'm like, this is a serious ass
Yeah.
situation. Like I get why Carter, like this is his character. He's gonna joke around.
Yeah.
But if someone kidnapped my daughter and then the cop on the phone is cracking jokes, I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, 100%.
I'm not letting that slide.
No, that's crazy. I mean, I guess in the sense he didn't know what the guy was saying on the other line, so he didn't know how
but
he
I
was
mean,
taking it.
But I do know it's serious regardless.
Yeah,
Don't joke
no.
around about this. This
No,
is my daughter.
You're 100%. You're 100% right.
Did you have anything to say about this? See, I mean, Jackie coming in was dope.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway from the scene. It was just like the way, just how Jackie just took on majority of the FBI was just crazy. Well,
Yeah.
I at first I put the whole FBI. It wasn't all of them. He came into the room and started taking off those dudes, but like, I think he could have.
100% he could have. Yeah.
He made those guys look like fools. Starting with the guys at the front gate, and then
Yeah.
those other dudes took his damn belt off, and yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, he kicks up the gun, from his feet because
Yeah.
he has his arm
Oh,
that
still on
which
the
is
steering wheel.
attached to the steering wheel because
Yeah.
Carter handcuffed to the steering wheel. So he's fighting with the steering wheel throughout the whole. It's so sick.
Yeah,
It's
it's so
so
dope,
sick.
man.
And Jackie
It's
Chan, of course, doing all of his own stunts.
oh,
It's
of course, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so dope.
So then we get the chase. So
Mhm.
they get the call. They go to the meetup with the $50 million, and of course it's a booby trap. The whole place gets blown up, and they see the guy start chasing. They find the detonator, and then they talk to Clive. They
Yeah.
go into the jail, talk to Clive, find out what it is. They get the info on Jun Tao. Did you have
Mhm.
anything to say about this sequence?
Well, in the fight scene, I thought it was really dope how like it's like a little thing. Like the whole fight sequence, like the chase was cool, and then like when he had the axe with them and he was swinging on him, you just saw like the sparks every
Mm.
time he missed. I thought it was just a cool visual of just like as they were fighting, and then also like when he chucks it and then just goes right past Chris's face or Chris Carter's
Eh,
face. Yeah,
Chris,
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
And I know I just thought that was funny, and just it's the physical comedy mixed in where he just like after they fall through. And he's like, "Yo, what didn't you say?" He's like, "I said stop."
Yeah.
But
Oh, I
yeah.
think I broke my shit. Honestly, he should have. That was a hard fall, and
Oh
they
my
just got up and
gosh,
walked
yeah.
it off.
And almost got hit by the car. They just freaking roll out the way.
Yeah.
Perfectly rolled out the way.
Oh, 100%. Because it's rush hour.
Yeah, exactly. What about
uh,
you though? What did you anything?
I mean, I thought it was, yeah, same thing. There's not really much to it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, the plot's moving quickly, but there's not really anything crazy going
No, for
on
sure.
plot wise.
Some nice action. Just a nice chase scene.
Yeah, it's just a great, nice chase scene.
Yeah.
100%. Like this is a movie that you could just turn your brain off, and this is when we do a movie like this on the podcast. It's not a lot of breakdown. We're just
Yeah.
shouting out the funniest and coolest parts of the
Yeah.
movie for
No,
the most part.
100%.
So yeah, you're right. It's just a good chase. The guy that gets the axe, Jackie, obviously is doing some nice evasion moves,
Yeah.
and then he even goes outside of the window. I don't know how
Yeah.
he didn't get him at that point. He should have
Yeah.
had him.
Yeah, I know.
He's the bro's hanging onto the ledge of a window. How are you not getting him?
I don't know. He's
Jackie Chan is him. That's how.
that's how. That's the
Then
reason.
we get the Chinese restaurant scene. So
Mhm.
they go to the Chinese restaurant. They find out that that's where Juntao is at because they up the ante. They up the ransom to 70 million.
Mhm.
So they find out that's where he's at. Chris goes in. He gets upstairs. We think that he's about to get got, but Jackie, of course, comes in to save the day. We get another huge fight. There's a lot of
Oh
great
yeah.
fights in this
No, there
movie.
is a lot of
Obviously,
great.
that's what this movie is. We get the reveal of Jun Tao.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
was,
big.
I remember like it's meant to be a big twist. Like I said, I remembered it was him when I
Yeah.
first saw him at the start of the movie, like toasting with the console. I was like, oh yeah, he's a
Oh,
bad
you
guy.
immediately remembered. Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
but you said
remember
you
that.
didn't. So what did you think of the twist then?
No, it got I was like, "Oh," like it was more it wasn't like a what, it was like, "Oh," like now I remember. Cuz like
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
True.
but it was more so like I completely forgot. Like for whatever reason I thought it was the FBI cuz honestly the FBI is pretty sus in this.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah.
them like not wanting Jackie to be involved and stuff. It's just like it seems very weird. Like I
Mhm.
get it. It's just like it's a foreign like you guys they're foreign to you guys. Like we're the FBI. Like we handle stuff here. So like we don't want outsiders within our stuff. But it's just a little too sus. Where it's like you can't have one guy join your team that this guy feels comfortable with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not that much. It's not gonna put you out that much. That's why part of me was like, is it someone in the FBI? Because like they're acting way too sus.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of had the same thought. Like I said,
Mhm.
when I saw Thomas is his name, who's
Yeah.
Juntao, at the start of the movie, I remembered I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. But
Mhm.
I also was like, oh, is the FBI also in on it? Like maybe
Yeah.
he's paying them
Right.
off. Like he's still the big bad guy, but maybe he's paying this guy off. Because even when we get to the end of the Chinese Expo,
Mhm.
the lead FBI guy like goes upstairs and he's overlooking and he seems kind of sus even still at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I
That's what
really
I'm
didn't remember.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And as you're saying, like just talking about how great the action. I think that's another thing too. Like we really talked about so much how much we love this movie, but it's really set apart because a lot of act like a buddy cop movies where there's fun action and stuff and like shootouts and stuff. But this movie isn't on it wrapped around its shootouts. There is shooting in this, but it's like we get these great just like fight scenes. And like at least for me, I can only speak for myself. It just like it was the first time I've seen like a buddy cop movie that had just that perfect blend of seeing like these action fight scenes like this, where it's not just like shoot, duck, shoot, duck, shoot, duck, which can still be entertaining, but like you're getting to see like Jackie like jump and like land on chairs with drop kicks and stuff like that. It's just so cool.
Yeah, and he just like picking up plates, throwing plates, and he's like later in the expo when he's fighting the dudes and he's holding up the vase, like trying to save the
Yeah.
Chinese culture while he's fighting dudes. Like this is so sick.
It's
Like
just so
you're right. Like
creative.
shooting with guns, it's not that entertaining. Like
Mhm.
you're just hiding behind cover, shoot, shoot, shoot. This martial arts is so cool. It's
Yeah.
so fun, and like even Carter's getting some licks in this scene, and they get the
Yeah.
classic buddy cop like back to back where they're
Oh
like
yeah.
swinging back and forth, like oh watch behind you, and then they they get the guy. Like
Yeah.
it's so classic, but it's so
Yeah,
good.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. I was just gonna say, watch behind you, kick, oh, and then they do like their poses, and I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
It's so cheesy, but it's so perfect, man. Like
Yeah, that's
that's what this
awesome.
movie is. Like it's not supposed to be the most realistic stuff. It's supposed to be magic and fun, and that's exactly what it is. I love it.
Yeah, and like I saw a little thing too, like the director, like Brett Ratner, like he grew up watching like Jackie's like Hong Kong movies. Apparently, I don't know if he watched all 81, but
Yeah, man.
but
I don't know.
he specifically was mentioning like Drunken Master and like and the police story I was talking about, and like he admired like because apparently I haven't seen all of 81 of those films or even half of those, but
Yeah.
he just talked about how there's this perfect blend of action and comedy in Jackie's previous movies, and I just think because he really pushed to get Jackie in these movies. Like the studio wasn't really like keen on like as like a foreign guy. Like I like people know Chris Tucker from like Friday and stuff, but like are they gonna be like, oh, who's this dude? This movie might do great internationally. It's because Jackie's obviously a bigger star like in other places. But they were and like the director was like, I'm not doing this movie if we don't do it with Jackie. And like they forced them to watch movies and all these things. So I was like, he really pushed for it and his push worked. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome.
1000%. You're right. Like the blend, the action and the comedy, that it's so perfect in this movie. And
Yeah.
you're right. I haven't seen his old stuff, but I imagine if that's what he does in this, then
Yeah.
that's why they brought him over. So that's probably what they were like too. I'm sure they're awesome.
Oh, 100%.
So then they get kicked off the case
Yeah.
because they have this big shootout and they lose Juntao and Soo Yung.
Mhm.
Carter then calls Johnson, the girl that from the
Oh,
LAPD that he's like
yeah.
constantly flirting with throughout the movie, and they find out about the detonator and where the console is going to be. So
Yeah.
then we get to the expo, and but I wanted to shout out Carter because he
Mhm.
calls her on the phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, okay, we need to find out where this guy is. And she's obviously like, no, I'm not gonna help you. You're
Yeah.
just an ass the whole time. You just got kicked off the case. Why would I help you? And he's like, don't do it for me. Like, honestly, we need to help this
Yeah.
girl. So he gets his moment to be like real, be like, no, we're really trying to help this girl.
Mhm.
She's gonna die if you don't help her. So she helps, but he follows that up with a bold
Yeah,
ass move. You know what I'm saying?
I
He asked for help. She said, okay, I'm gonna help. Before hanging up, what color panties you got on?
It's
What?
crazy.
Out of nowhere.
It's so crazy.
Wild.
It's so crazy, man.
Bro,
Oh my
like
god.
like he was like I said, he gets this moment where he's like, no, I'm actually we're trying to help this
A
girl.
redeeming moment.
I'm being serious. I need your help. Will you help me? Yes. Okay, good. Now what color panties you got on?
Oh my, he's too much, man. He's great, but oh
It's
my
great.
god, yeah. I did, and I wasn't ready for. There's a lot of lines I wasn't ready for. That one
Yeah.
definitely not. Cause I thought it was like, I guess that's the perfect blend. That's why you do it, because in
Yeah.
that moment you're down. You're like, okay, we're not making jokes right now. It's serious. The movie's we're talking about the girl, and then he hits you with that. You're just kind of like, just tilt your head like this guy.
So then he goes and gets Lee off the plane. He was gonna go home, and then we get the final big battle Chinese expo scene.
Yeah.
Let me know what was what did you like most, or what's your next point on this?
I thought it was funny, like how Carter gets the girl, like the girl, because like obviously like now Juntao he's told everybody like I'm the guy now, and everyone's like oh snap, and yeah Carter goes off to get the girl, and they have that whole montage where they're showing each other different ways to steal the gun and stuff from each other, but like
Yeah.
I just find it so silly that it's just like that guy had a gun. I think we should mention this in another movie. I don't remember which movie it was. The guy had a gun to his chest. There should not be enough time for a guy to make any movement to grab the gun from you and then do all that. It makes me think of that stupid like Instagram video. I don't know if you've seen that dude. It's like, this is
Oh
how you steal a
yeah.
gun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that. It's like no, I'm gonna pop you immediately as you go to
Yeah.
reach for it. There's no time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And he's not Jackie Chan.
That's what I'm saying. Because he's like, I bet you know I could do that. I'm like, that was so slow. It wasn't like this quick, like boom, boom, like, whoa, I didn't even see what, like when he gets kicked in the head and he's like, yo, who kicked me?
Yeah.
Or he didn't even know who
Right.
kicked him because it happened so fast. That was the slowest like gun removal, and he was just so happy about it too. He stick out his tongue. You know I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that 100%. Well, it's the same thing like I said at the beginning movie with Lee when he's
Yeah.
pointing the gun at the dudes and they just start running away. I'm like, does no one wants to actually use any guns in this movie? Like, I get you want to avoid killing someone if you don't have to, but
Yeah.
like you're holding it as a threat. Like, if you do something, I will shoot you.
Yeah.
And then he does something. He reaches for the gun, shoot him.
That's what I'm
You have
saying.
a 12-year-old girl with a bomb strapped to her chest in the truck. Like, you're not above killing somebody. Shoot the
That's what
guy.
I'm saying. What
Great
about
point.
you? I had a couple other ones, but I want to hear
Yeah,
something from you.
I got a
What
couple
you
more
got?
too. I mean, when Soo Yung, so immediately after this, so he gets Soo Yung, he drives into the expo, and then he pulls up and he's grabbing her, and he has the bomb, right? Because
Yeah.
Juntao has the detonator, and he's like, if you make any crazy movements, I'll blow your daughter up. But now he's got the bomb in the expo, so he's
Yeah.
like, if you blow her up, we're all blow up. So
Yeah.
he comes up and he's like, hit the button. I dare you. I dare you to hit the button. He's talking shit. And then Soo Yung starts talking shit too. And she's like, yeah, hit the button.
Yeah.
Push the goddamn button. I'm like, yeah, Soo Yung. That was lit, man.
That killed me. And then even to add on to that, when we get again, Soo Young screaming that is wild. It's like the
Yeah.
bomb is on you. Like, I don't know why
Yeah.
you're feeling so worried. I would not be playing along, but hey. But when Johnson, what's it called? When they have to cut off the thing with Johnson too, like I was kind of just shaking my head. I'm like, this is kind of wild. Like she's doing like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, basically, it feels like.
I mean, it's we see her a few times earlier in the movie. Like, we understand she's like the bomb squad cop.
Yeah.
Like, we see her practicing, like cutting which wire it's going to be and stuff. So obviously in this situation, it's like, okay, it's going to be her. But like, I mean, the classic, if you cut one wire, it's going to disarm. If you cut the other ones, it's going to blow up. I don't know. I'm assuming that's not how bombs work. But like,
but in movies they do.
Yeah, in movies that's how it works, and I don't care. But I was like, there's no way this is just gonna mess up. She's got to get it. Like, this is the end of an action movie. She's not gonna mess this up,
No, 100%.
and she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. But and then we also got a callback to like because there's that constant callback of what's it called? Between I forget the guy with what's the guy with the blonde hair's name again? I didn't have that written down.
What guy with the blonde? Oh, the FBI guy?
No, not the FBI guy. The guy that's Juntao's like right hand man.
Sang.
Yeah. Like there's always like there's the initial thing where he's like, yo, put your gun down, like fight like a man. And then we get that scene with him and then like and he says the same thing. Oh, put your gun down, fight like a man. Like that whole thing. I liked that little like the little callback too. And then the wipe yourself off. You're bleeding.
That was tough. Yeah. Because when up in the restaurant, Carter gets his ass beat. And he's like, wipe yourself off, you're bleeding. And then you're right. He says, put your gun down, fight like a man. And he does. They both have other guns, of course. But Carter he falls back, uses the foot gun.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, okay.
That was pretty dope. That's probably his dopest moment. Like fighting wise.
Wipe yourself off. You're dead.
Yeah, that's hard.
Tough.
And then you realize that line he's only delivering just for him because no one else is in the room.
Yeah.
It'd be hyper if like maybe like Jackie.
No,
was
the
there.
FBI guy was there.
Oh, that's true. That is true. So he didn't get to hear that. And hey, it's a comedy. He should have been like they should have been like a zooming on him like holding himself like that was hard.
Like
So
nice
like
one.
that. It's like okay.
G4T classified.
Yeah.
Nice work. Nice one. Well, and Lee, like we said, like this whole time, Lee is fighting downstairs, beating everybody's ass, diving between stuff. They're trying to break the vases and things, and he's holding up the vase. He pushes it up, bop, 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 couple punches, grabs it again, pushes it. Like he's beating these dudes' asses while trying to hold the vase, and then he disarms the two, saves the vase, and then immediately gets shot. And he's just like, fuck.
My question too with Lee is why like once they get the bomb off, why is he running around with it? Because there's never really a payoff with that bomb, like what he was trying to do with it. He ends up wearing it, and then it like ends up falling off of him. And then what was his plan?
That's a great question, actually, because I mean, they give it to him. They're like, you got to get rid of this,
Yeah.
right? Because they disarm the dead man switch basically.
Yeah.
So if you take it off Soo Young, it'll explode. So that's the disarm, but the C4 is still there.
Mhm.
So he's like, yeah, we have to get rid of this. Why did he put it on and start climbing up? Is a good question. Maybe he was like gonna throw it on the helicopter that Jun Tao is trying to get to because he grabbed some
Maybe.
money and he's escaping. So maybe he was gonna try and
Yeah.
blow him up. But like, that's a great point. He really did not need to do that.
Yeah, I was just
I don't know
confused
what
the
the
whole
plan
time. I was
was.
thinking, I was like, "What is he doing with this bomb?" Because he's constantly using it as a shield. He's like, "Hey, don't shoot me! I got a
That
C4
was
here."
sick.
I was also wondering, like, how big we never find out too. How big is this explosion? Because everyone's like, "Oh snap! Yeah, like we'll all die." She was just
Yeah,
in the room, and they're like, "Oh snap!" I'm like, "Is it gonna blow up the entire exposition?
right.
Like, how
I
big is?"
guess so. I mean, I'm not a bomb explosive expert, but
Yeah,
I mean, with the explosion that we saw earlier
at the
when,
beginning,
yeah,
wasn't
when it
that
was a
big?
trap. Well, I mean, the one that when
Oh,
they
that one.
that one was
Okay, yeah.
big when
I thought you
they.
meant the car one, like when he shot the car
Oh
and exploded.
no, you're right. That wasn't that big.
That
Yeah,
kind
you're
of just
right. And
seemed
there
like
was a
a
lot of C4 in there.
yeah.
That's a great point, actually. That one wasn't that big, but the one, like I said, they call for the 50 million. They show up and then they blow up the whole floor. I don't know
Mhm.
if that was C4, I guess, or how much they use, but that's a good point. The one at the beginning was not very big.
Yeah, and I want to defend Chris a little bit too because they're like, you destroyed a city block or whatever. She's like, he was already messed up. I'm like, did he mess it up? The car exploded. It didn't seem like anything around it was damaged. I
Yeah.
understand there'd be debris and stuff everywhere, but like, it's not like he took down an entire building. He's not the Avengers in 2020, like
Hmm.
2012. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
destroying a whole city. He just blew up
100%.
a. And he's like, and the evidence. They're like, there's a little bit left. What evidence? What would have been left?
A flipped over car. That's it.
I guess so, but
Yeah. Oh, that's a
yeah,
good question about the vest.
yeah
That's a
on the
valid
bomb.
question.
I don't know.
And then we basically get the final. They get Jun Tao.
Yeah.
He falls to his death. He saves Chris is able to save Jackie with the big banner.
Yeah.
And they send us off with the whoa.
Yeah.
Who?
What
What is it
is it
good
good
for?
for?
Absolutely nothing.
Th-
And
there
then we
yeah.
finish it off with a blooper reel. How great is
Yeah.
that?
Such a throwback, man. Whenever I see these, and it's been a while, that
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I forgot about these. This used to be more of a common thing. You'd see at the end of a movie, a credit would be the blooper reel.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it is awesome. It's like the most recent one we got, I'd say, is the Deadpool one. And that's
Is there
not
a
even like a
blooper reel in
blooper. It's not a
Deadpool?
blooper reel. It's just the fact of like, you get credits and then you get like a little video beside to watch some stuff. And
Oh, okay.
it was behind the scenes from all the Fox movies. You know what I mean? And they're playing fucking. I think they're playing Green Day. It's like it's
Yeah.
something unfair, like because they were saying it's the end of an era,
Oh,
basically, right?
right.
It's like
Yeah.
Fox is done, Disney's taking it over. So like here's all the behind the scenes of those movies you liked, like Blade and Elektra. I mean, I shouldn't say all the movies you liked, but Daredevil and X-Men and stuff. So
Yeah.
is that. But I feel like we haven't seen those in a long time.
Yeah, but seeing like the bloopers with the fights, like when because all this stuff obviously is movie things. So like when the prop of like the pool cue when Jackie goes to catch it and it just snaps in half, and then they're just standing there and they
Yeah.
start laughing. And like what he goes to do, he jumps on the chair and he lands right on his ass. And he's just
Oh
like,
yeah, he's
oh
like,
my
oh
god, that
yeah.
hurt. But like it's I don't know, or when he's playing with a gun and he just like chucks it across the room by accident. Like it's just a blooper reel is great. Yeah, we need blooper reels back.
Oh,
Bring back blooper
100%.
reels.
Especially in a comedy too, because it's just like
Yeah.
there you see so many lines of guys just like doing different jokes and just being because there's always so much of that. It's like I'm just gonna get these jokes off. I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
trying. Because again, when you know something's improvised, because like that's what they were talking about. Like I saw that Chris improvised a lot of his jokes and a lot of his little like banter things. Then that means there's a lot of takes of him. And like now we can't use that one. You can't use that one. But like, oh, that's good. But I think we should go like a different way. And then you could just put that in the blooper rule because you're like, there's a lot of good stuff in here. We can't use it all. That's how you
Yeah.
just throw it in there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
exactly. You
perfect
can
way.
only use one take,
Yeah,
but that doesn't
exactly.
mean that there's only one good take. So you're right.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we need from these improv movies, especially these improv. Because you're right. If it's just someone like messing up an action scene, like it could be funny, but like we don't need a ton of that. But it's with improv, it's like man, you can almost like choose like edit yourself, be like, oh, maybe I would have even gone with that one. Maybe that one was better
Yeah.
for whatever reason, but like it's all funny. It's
Yeah,
all funny. It's so
and it
good.
makes Jackie more valid too. Because if you didn't know that he was doing his own stunts, you're seeing it right at the end of the movie.
True.
Like, oh snap, he really did that. And you wonder how many times did he mess up?
Yeah.
How many times did it take him to get that freaking jump from the chair and not fucking hurt his ass?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And like we're seeing him crack jokes too. So I don't know how much he improvised as far
Yeah.
as dialogue and like his
Yeah.
lines, but in the bloopers you see him like mess up and then he plays it off funny.
Yeah.
So like yeah, that's not in the movie, but you could just see that he's also a funny guy in his
Mhm.
second language. Like it's impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Did you have anything else, or did you have any
Um,
facts that you didn't get to?
no, I kind of sprinkled them all in, like kind of talking about like the like how much of a fan Brett like Ratman was of Jackie and stuff like that, and that a lot of the improvised stuff. Like I don't know if you had
Uh,
any.
I got a couple. I mean, one was just that Chris Tucker was the fourth choice
Oh,
for this
really?
movie. Yeah, they offered it to Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and Wesley Snipes. They all turned it down.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think Eddie Murphy would have been hilarious in
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Martin Lawrence as well. Apparently, Jackie Chan wanted Martin Lawrence
Oh,
the
really?
most. Yeah, but I think he said the paycheck was too small. He wanted more money,
Mm.
which makes sense. He had a little more clout than Chris Tucker at this point.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of more
No, I
clout.
was gonna say a lot more. I think Bad Boys already came out at that point, like the first Bad Boys.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
So
mean, and he had his whole show of Martin. So
exactly,
it's like he
yeah.
already had, like, yeah, he's already like a known name. He's like that, which honestly probably worked out in their favor too, because like $30 million budget, the budget only went up and up from there because the guys became stars. And sometimes it's just like sometimes you work a little better when you have a lower budget because you gotta
Mhm.
get a little more creative, and then there's more chance the movie can do well because it's not like, all right, well, we gotta pay these guys all this, so $100 million budget. Now we gotta make a lot of money for this to even make a profit now.
Yeah, yeah, hundred
Because
percent.
I watched how their budget went up. Like the first one, they're 30 million, second one, $90 million budget, and
Damn,
then after that, 140. Where it's like, damn, man. And
damn.
now it's got to be a complete banger for us to even make a profit.
They spent it all on the Eiffel Tower. I mean, the first two were bangers, so like
Yeah,
everyone was gonna go and watch the third. I'm sure it made money. I didn't check, but
yeah,
I'm
they
sure
all
it
made
made
money.
money.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
profitable. But the third one, it didn't. It wasn't as successful in the sense of because $140 million budget
yeah,
for. It's yeah. This isn't the age of. I mean, we're close to the age of the Marvel $1 billion explosion. But like most movies weren't making like 400, 500 million.
yeah.
That was an anomaly.
Well, I mean, even just with inflation, like ticket
Yeah, that's
prices
true. No, for
weren't as
sure.
high, so you're gonna make less in the gross.
No, 100%.
But I mean, yeah, you almost you don't need it. These don't need a big budget. Why would
It's
they
just
need a big budget? Like
I think
it's
Jackie and Chris were like,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, they would want that. But like there's not a lot of visual effects or massive sets or like it's a lot of hand-to-hand combat, Jackie Chan doing sick stuff
Yeah.
and Chris Tucker just improvising. That's you like you said, you pay these two guys, but other than that,
No,
you
it's
don't need a
true.
big budget.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe the 140 was the Paris thing.
Yeah.
Just shooting over there.
Yeah.
Because I think they really did shoot over there.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I do have one more actually.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. So Rush Hour is in large part the reason behind the creation of Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah. So Sen Duong, who's
Mhm.
the founder,
Yeah.
was a big Jackie Chan fan, and he was inspired to create the website in anticipation of the film's release after collecting all the reviews of Jackie's Chinese action films
Mhm.
before are being released in the US. So as they were being released into the US, because he was, starting to grow,
Yeah.
he wanted to get all the reviews and see what people thought of them.
Mhm.
So he built the website, and it got launched just before the release of this movie.
Oh, that's crazy. I
So
didn't see.
Rotten Tomatoes, the massive movie website that we all know,
Yeah.
Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, or Rush Hour.
That's crazy. I did not know that. I didn't even. It's crazy. I didn't see that. That's really interesting. I thought it was old. For whatever reason, I thought it was older than that. But then I'm thinking like internet and just like sites like that in general. Like I don't even know when
Yeah.
IMDb and those things got invented. So yeah, that's interesting. That's wild.
Yeah. So I mean, 81 movies he had to choose from
Yeah.
of all of the Hong Kong movies that I guess he put them all up on Rotten Tomatoes and had
Yeah.
people say what they thought of it. And now look what it is.
That's wild, man. And to go since we're talking about like filmography, it's wild to see. Like, I don't know if you saw like Chris Tucker's filmography, like how picky he was with like picking movies, or like how picky he has been
Yeah.
from 1998 to 2007, which was the run of the what's it called, Rush Hour movies. He didn't do an entire movie but Rush Hour. All he did is
Dang.
Rush in those 9 years. All he did is Rush Hour 1, 2, 3, and that's
Hmm.
it. And then after that, he did 3 movies.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's like a picky thing, or is it just like he made? I mean, he's still making a lot of money, like a couple $1 million that he gets paid. Like you can chill out for a couple years
Mhm.
if that's all he wants to do. Like maybe he's just like, you're right. Some people take advantage of the like, okay, I've
Clout.
got this clout. Yeah, let me use it and try and get a big paychecks and work a bunch and make all these movies and make enough money so I could retire forever. But like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, he made 3 of these. He still made a ton of money.
No, 100%. And I don't even necessarily mean it as in like a go get your money, dude, or whatever it is. Just it almost seems strange to me in the sense of like, I mean, I assume you got into acting because you liked it. You know what I mean? And like now you've reached this point where it's like, oh man, like I'm the movie that I made is like was crazy successful. We made another really successful sequel. Let me shop myself around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's try. Let's see what the next thing is. I'm not gonna you like not everyone's gonna be in a Fast and Furious where I'm gonna make 11 movies. I'm just gonna rock with
Right.
this my entire life. Like, let me see what my next thing is. So like, I don't want to just keep doing Rush Hour until people get tired of it.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah,
just
that's a
never
good
really
point.
did that. And I remember how excited. Have you seen the movie Air?
No, I haven't.
He's in that movie, and I remember I got
Yeah.
so excited because I didn't know he was getting. Actually, I don't think I remembered him being in the trailer, but when he was in it, I was like, "Oh man, I missed this guy's comedy, man." It felt like it was Carter in that movie. It's like
Really?
yeah, it's just classic Chris Tucker comedy. I'm like, again, like I said, he only did 3 movies after, and
Yeah.
like they were kind of small roles. So like this was a small role too. But when he was in there, I remember I was just smiling. I was like, "Oh man, I
Just
missed this."
obnoxious bullshit.
Yeah, I missed this, man. It's hilarious.
Nice.
But that's all I
Um,
got. That's
me
all
is
I got.
too. So we're gonna get into the filmies.
Let's get into it. Yes, it's that time of the show. It's time for the filmies. And if you're new to the show, Scott and I give out 6 awards to the film that we just watched. If I don't know what he picked and he doesn't know what I picked. So like when we do get something the same, we deem it as certified for those that don't know. With that being said, the first award we give out is our Ferris Bueller Award. So the Ferris Bueller, it's our lazy award. We give it out to, it could be the director, the writer, any actors, anybody on set or anybody involved with the movie that we feel uh did something lazy, and it's not anything like serious that we think like ruined the movie or anything. It's just kind of something funny that we wanted to point out. So Scott, who do you give your award to?
I gave my Ferris Bueller award to Jun Tao.
Okay.
So Thomas, the
Yeah.
big bad guy. Uh, so at the end of the movie at the expo, right? There's this big firefight downstairs. There's $70 million upstairs being
Yeah.
counted. And when everything goes to shit, he goes upstairs, he grabs one suitcase and starts to escape. There's like 8 more suitcases full of money there. Like, I get you can't grab them all. You're one
Yeah.
dude, but like at least I'm grabbing 2, one in each hand.
Yeah.
Like
No,
each
100%.
suitcase is full of like what it's $70 million, and say that there's maybe $10 million in each one.
Yeah. No,
And
100%.
he grabbed one. What are you doing? That's just lazy, bro. Like I'm grabbing at least 2. I'm probably trying to see if I can like squeeze a third under my arm or like
Oh,
stack them on top of
100%.
each other. Like I'm getting as much as I can. One
100%.
is crazy.
A briefcase isn't even that, like, they doesn't look that. You could probably do 2 in one hand. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm really that serious, like I'm going to all this work that he went into
Yeah.
to get this money, kidnapping a girl and all this stuff. Like, I'm leaving with more than one suitcase.
Yeah.
Like your whole reputation's ruined just so you could get how much.
And
I
only
don't,
10 million
yeah,
when there's another 60 sitting right there and you just leave it?
it doesn't make sense. Well
Yeah.
deserved. That's a good Ferris.
Thank you.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I don't know why he went small.
At least 2.
Come on, dog.
If you grab one in each hand, I'm like, okay, I can understand because you're still escaping. You still might have to be a little mobile, get
Yeah.
on the helicopter or whatever. But one can't accept that. That's a Ferris Bueller award for me.
Yeah, well deserved. My Ferris Bueller. I kind of showed my hand a little bit. I showed my hand almost twice, but I was like, okay, let me scale it back. I'm giving it to Johnson, and like I
Okay.
couldn't even hold myself from saying it. As I was saying, I was like, should I just say this is my Ferris Bueller award? And it's it's the roses are red, violets
Mm,
are. To me, like I say, it's lazy because it's just like for the first we saw you mess up, and this is like your redemption thing. But like the fact that you're doing that song, there's no way they teach you that in school. Like, remember this jingle. It will always work when you're cutting
yeah.
a bomb. That to me, that's her just giving up and being like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if I can figure this out. Let me just guess. Cause that's what she did. She
Yeah.
guessed.
I mean, to be fair, like I'm obviously, like I said, I'm not trained to disarm
Yeah.
bombs or anything like that, but like at the end of the day, there's 3 wires. You got a
Yeah.
1 in 3 chance, I guess. And is there any indication to say, okay, like this one's going to here? Like it didn't really look like she turned Soo Young around to try
That
and figure out where
that's why I
stuff was
think she's
plugged
being
in.
lazy. Like I need at least like a trail. Like I need to look like okay, this goes into
Right.
and then you know what I mean? And then if you want to be
Yeah.
cute and still sing a song, but don't do like a all you did is just look at the 3. You didn't do no tracing like around. You just said roses are red and so are
Violets are
you.
blue.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like
I mean, at the same, like, if if you run into a bomb that has not red and blue wires, are you just fucked? Like what happened? Does that mean every single red and blue wire is never the good one to cut? Those are always the roses are always red, the
yeah,
violets are always blue. Whatever the third color is, you cut that one, and that's
I
the
don't
bomb
know,
training. That's the bomb squad
I
training.
don't know, man. But Johnson gets my Ferris because of that. I was not happy with that.
I like it. I like it. You're right. At least a tracking, like, okay, this goes in here.
That's
So
what I'm
I
saying.
yeah, I like it.
Just
Yeah.
give me that and like that. Then I just won't say you're lazy because even if you're bullshitting me and you still don't know what's going on, if I'm looking at you and I don't know what you're doing, at least I'll be like, okay, I think she's okay. She's checking the okay, yeah, yeah. And then in her head, she's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Roses are red and okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Who
But
knows?
our next
That's a good one.
our next award is we have is our fit check as we got some of our nice fits
Ooh,
going on here.
true.
And this feels very filmy. It's like we don't do
Oh
this
yeah.
often. We don't do this for the
We
filmies.
never have.
We never. Yeah, I don't know why I said often. No, let them figure it out as they go through the other episodes. Maybe
Yeah,
we
true.
have
Go and watch every single other episode.
and see.
Shameless plug.
And don't skip to the end. You got to watch all the way through because
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
we change halfway through.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's your favorite fit? Very self-explanatory. Your best fit of the film.
This one jumped out. I wrote it down instantly. I'm honestly will be surprised if we don't have a certified
Yeah, I was
here.
thinking that too. I think I know where you're going.
Okay, I'm certain we have it. So it's Luke.
Yeah.
Is the credit? I don't even think they say his name. I found his credit when I looked, but it's Carter's cousin in the back of the pool bar. Holy shit. This dude, guys, go and Google this. Fucking the all red suit, the red pants, red jacket, red shirt, red tie, red pocket square.
Everything.
There's 8 buttons on that suit. I paused it and counted, bro. It's so 1998. Like
Yeah.
even Chris Tucker's suit is like it's 3 buttons, but they're
Yeah.
sky high on the suit. But this dude has 8 buttons on his suit. Everything is all red. He's glistening, shining bright in the back of this dingy pool bar.
house,
Oh
yeah.
my god, he's going insane. And he even says, he's like, man, your mom gave me this suit. This is my favorite suit.
Yeah.
It should be. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I got the exact same fit. Like I don't even. Yeah, like it's not even. When I picked it, I was like, "Is exactly what you said." That's why I was laughing so hard because I'm like, "He's gonna pick this."
It
Like,
has to
what
be.
else could? Like, there was nothing else. This is so loud in your face. It's like that's the fit.
Yeah.
That's the fit. There's not much
Like,
else.
like
to
I
say.
said, when Carter pulls up for the first time and he's looking like freaking Blade with this
Yeah.
long ass leather jacket, I was like, oh, that's kind of a crazy fit.
Yeah.
And then this dude showed up. I was like, okay, blew him out of the water.
Yeah,
This guy's
exactly.
fit is insane.
Yeah. The only thing what was Juntao's right hand man again? What was his name again?
Sang.
I just rocked with the blonde hair.
That's true. Yeah,
that
it was
pretty dope.
hard.
It's not a fit, but I gotta give some more credit for that. I thought that was dope. But yeah, this was the fit. It was.
Yeah.
There's no really debate here.
Yeah. If you pick something else, I'd just be I'd overrule you. I'd be like, no, this is it
You'd
has
be like,
to go
no.
to this.
Yeah,
no.
you just mute me.
I would I would not I'd fill in your voice with AI saying I'll I agree. Like, it can't be anything else. It has to be this.
Oh no, that's good. Our next award we have, again, another very self-explanatory one, is best quote. So, what was your favorite quote from the movie, Scott? A lot of good, funny moments,
Yeah.
bars. We named a lot of
Yeah.
them, but I
So I gave mine to Carter,
okay.
and it's when he's clearing out the expo. So they show up and they're like, okay, we know there's danger here. We gotta get rid of everybody in this expo. So he stands up on this box and he's telling everybody, all right, you got to get out of here. We ask that you please exit the building as soon as possible, and please do not panic. Didn't you hear what I just said? Get your shit and get out the door. And then everybody starts running in a panic. And then he's yelling at them as they go, yeah, get out, get out, get out. Titty, titty, titty.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
your damn titties out of here. I was like, what?
That had to have been ad-libbed because
Yeah.
there's no way someone wrote that.
Titty, titty, titty. Get them titties out of here. I was like, what the fuck is that? Why?
Yeah.
Why the titties? Like,
Yeah,
what?
I don't know. Oh my god!
It just killed me that he was like, all right, everybody be calm, don't panic, and nobody moves. And he's like, did you hear what I just said? Oh, hilarious.
No, that's good, man. I also gotta show he had so many funny lines, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
literally like pick your choice of which funny line you want to pick. There's another funny line. This isn't my quote, but that same expo when freaking Juntao falls to the water and he's just like, yeah, you know he's dead. And I'm just like, always making jokes, even when someone died.
Insane, bro.
Oh my goodness. My quote also goes to Carter too, but it's not for that line. It's when they're with Chive. I mean, there's a lot of things they said with that Chive guy, like the guy that's saying that could be Jonah Hill's reincarnation.
Oh yeah.
Or Clive, sorry.
Clive,
Chive, yeah, Clive. So Clive, when Clive tells him, like, they're trying to get him to help him, he's like, man, get out of here. He's like, kiss my big fat ass. He's like, it'd take me all day to kiss your fat ass. Oh my gosh, that like killed me, man.
Oh, that's amazing. It's hilarious. Like, you're totally right. I was like, whatever your quote is literally just gonna be whatever caught you, like whatever. It could have been something that Jackie said, maybe
No,
something that,
true.
like
Because Jackie had some funny line parts too.
100%. Yeah. Jackie was great in this. But I mean, the whole movie is Carter just talking.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So like the odds of it being one of his is so high, and all of it is fantastic. Like,
yeah, there's even just one
great.
line too where it wouldn't have got my quote, but it was just so unexpected that it made me like just pop out in laughter too. Is like when the FBI is like, you know, you can be one of us, and he says like, yo, screw you, like up your ass kind of thing. And he's like, I don't want to be part of you, right? And then there's like he's walking away, you hear like him, like the music's going, and it cuts back to the guys, and like the guy that's got like just the mustache and the bald head, like the Dr. Phil look, he's just like, bitch. And I was I was like, I didn't expect them to say anything. I thought they were gonna stand there like upset, like, damn, screw that guy.
maybe that was ad lib too.
Yeah,
Maybe he saw the moment, like, because the whole movie they're punking Carter. They're like, no, we don't want you on this case. You're just a stupid LAPD cop. We don't need you. And then he shows them up by saving the day.
Mhm.
They offer him a job, and he spits in their face. He's just, bitch. I didn't expect that either. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh my
That was funny.
gosh. Our next award is our six man, aka our Nas Reed Award, and I say this every episode, but it's we're getting close to being a new, named something else.
That's
Nas
right.
got a couple more episodes, but basically it's an award that we give out to someone who we thought we want to give some credit to. They're not quite our MVP, but in their small role they delivered. Scott, who gets your six man?
I gave it to the Chinese food guy.
Oh,
I don't think he has a name, a
Yeah, I don't think he
character name.
does.
So it's right after, it's right before the Chinese restaurant
Yeah.
scene. So they're Carter and Jackie, they're in Chinatown and they're getting food. And the guy comes around and it's Carter shit talking his food. He's like, man, you don't got any better food? No chicken wings? No, this is just a big box of grease. You trying to give me a big box of grease? And he comes out and he's like, we have Chinese food, no soul food.
Yeah.
And then he twice is, I'm no punk bitch. He's like, get out of here. I'm no punk bitch. And Carter's like, you a punk bitch. I'm no punk bitch. Like, he had 3 lines and he was on screen for 1 minute and he was hilarious. So he gets my six man just for standing up to Carter. He was great.
Yeah, honestly, I'm mad at myself. I didn't give him my six man because he made me laugh so much. I watched that scene like twice over because I was just dying. But I had ended up giving to him, and now I'm mad. Like, if I could switch, I'm not gonna switch because I already have one locked in. If I could switch, I would have given it to him because that's the perfect epitome of a six man. Such a small role, and you just again kind of like the whole like the FBI thing, unexpected. You're not
Yeah.
expecting this guy to say anything.
Yeah, I thought it like it's like Carter's talking shit about his food. I was like, okay, this is what the character's done the whole
Yeah,
entire movie,
exactly.
and no one even talks back to him. Like it's just this
Exactly.
guy's just gonna sit there and take it. He's just gonna be talking shit, and then I'm no punk bitch. I was like, what? This is amazing. And he's obviously like it's his second language, so he's because he speaks Mandarin to
Yeah.
Jackie, and he just comes right back at him in English. We have Chinese food, not soul food. You know, have chicken wings and freaking all this
Oh
stuff that he
my
would ask me about. I'm no
goodness.
punk bitch. Amazing.
Absolutely
Tiny
great.
role, and he killed it. He made me laugh. I was like, this is my guy.
That's good, man.
This is my six man.
I gave mine to Soo Yung. And then she's
It's a good pick.
yeah, she's a six. It's literally for the scene that we talked about too, because it freaking killed me. She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, blow everybody up," and then like, push the goddamn button. I'm just like, yo, I'm like, that's great, man.
It's so good, man.
Oh my god,
Like like a little girl, like just her life is on the line, and she was never like showed. We never saw her before show any of this sass or this
nah.
this
Well, a little
backbone or
bit, I guess, because
anything.
she's punching Jackie in the
Yeah,
stomach
I
and
get.
stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But not like this, though. Not like this.
Not like
It's
this.
very
Carter
subtle.
starts talking shit, and she just like gets some confidence from him. Like, yeah, push the goddamn
Yeah.
button, kill everybody. I don't give a fuck. Hilarious. Her dad's looking at her like Soo Yung.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, it's like you've been in LA for how long, and you're already you switched up that
Gangbanging?
fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. It was the push the goddamn button that set me over the edge too. Because at first she was like, "Yeah, push the button." It was like, okay, yeah, she's on board. She's like, "Yeah, push." Like she put her chest into it. I'm
Yeah,
like, "Yo,
100%.
I'm like, you actually have a bomb on you. Calm down, calm down a little bit. He might push the button. Chill
Yeah.
out, Soo Yung. Man.
She wanted him to do it.
Apparently,
She wanted him to do it.
She's like, "Yeah,
She
you know."
was-
I wish you went another level. Like, I know you don't got it. You don't got the guts.
Push the goddamn. You won't do it.
Yeah.
You won't do it.
I know you
June
won't do it.
Tao. Ha!
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
And
You don't look like a June Tao. You look
Yeah.
like a Thomas to me,
yeah,
boy.
exactly.
Push
So, you know,
the
I'll-
goddamn
if you don't
button.
do it, I'll do it. I'll take this off. I know it's gonna. I wish you
Yeah,
could.
yeah, yeah. I know that there's this shit is rigged to blow. You want me to just take it off? Yeah, I know you won't do it. Listen. That's amazing.
Oh my god! Shout out Soo
Oh,
Yung,
man.
man. Shout out Soo Yung and shout out that dude
Great
from the
pick.
restaurant, man.
Yeah, great pick, man.
He ain't no punk.
No punk bitch. I'm no punk bitch. Yeah,
Oh,
Soo
my
Young
God.
ain't no punk bitch either.
Nah, she's not, man.
Push a button. Here, give me the detonator. I'll do it.
Second last, but award we have is best scene. So, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene was at the Fu Chao restaurant. So
Okay.
it's where the Jun Tao twist is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remembered it, but if you're watching the movie for the first time, then it could be it's a big twist. That makes it interesting. The fight upstairs is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's Jackie going crazy, like
Mhm.
jumping on chairs, and he's throwing plates at people and throwing spears and like all this crazy shit. Also the classic buddy cop, like the back to back, like we talked about.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
behind you, and then they get in. So
Mm.
Carter's fighting. And he's talking shit the whole time, and it starts downstairs where they built up like the ominous. They're like, Jun Tao's upstairs. He's like, I'm trying to see Jun Tao. And then the girl's like, I don't know who Jun Tao is. Who are you talking about? And then she goes up and mentions it, and we don't know who it is. So like it has that aspect. The fight is great. The Carter, like you said, he gets kicked in the face. Who did that?
Yeah.
Who did that? I don't. The clean yourself up. You're all bloody.
Yeah.
It has everything. This scene is great. That's my favorite.
No, it's a really great scene. Unfortunately, I didn't pick that as my scene, but like, there's so many like awesome scenes, there's awesome moments. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of took like a scene and kind of took a moment from it because it's like
Mm.
there's so much the good within the scene, but like I was like, well, this specific moment part right here is why this is my favorite scene, and I ended up going off with the exhibition scene, like that whole kind of final climax. But it was a moment we talked about. It's the saving the art bit.
That's sick.
It was just so funny to me because again, it's cool. It's just like, okay, fight. All right, save that. Fight, save that. Fight, save that. And then again, it's the thing at the end where it's like, then he shoots it. And I don't think Jackie swore the whole movie. Not that I know of. So I think that was
Yeah.
kind of like the first time because then it happens. He's like, "Shit," and it's like up until that point, I don't think we swore. So it's almost like that kind
I
of
mean, he said
payoff
the
too.
N
It's
word
like,
twice. If
yeah, I
that
guess
counts
that's
as a
true.
swear.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't know. That made me laugh because part of me was like, "Is it gonna break?" Because I didn't remember. I was like, and then it does, and I'm like, I just like that little moment in there.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
of course it broke. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you're right. It's an awesome moment. I love it. It's so much.
Because he did
Jackie,
the most to save it too.
yeah,
Like he's throwing himself on the ground, like his
yeah. He
leg, and
dives on the ground. He holds it, throws it up, fight, 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 catch it, and then like
yeah,
so Jackie Chan, like the stunts is amazing. Just the whole idea of it, like, okay, we're gonna have you fighting these two guys off while saving this. Like whoever came up with that idea,
oh yeah.
genius. It works out perfect. It's amazing. It's a great moment. Glad
It's
you
so
picked it.
dope, man. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, we have our MVP. So Scott, who was your MVP of the movie?
This is it was kind of funny when I was thinking about this. I was like, this movie would be kind of perfect to have like a co MVP. Like it's such a tight
Mm,
race. Like it's
yeah.
to me, it's Jackie and it's Chris. Like
It's
these two guys. That's
Shay versus Joker.
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I was like, it's so current because right now we have Shea and Jokic,
Yeah.
who both of them like both deserve the MVP, but there's only one award. One's gonna get it.
Yeah.
And in my case, I gave it to Jackie.
Okay.
So Jackie Chan is my MVP. Uh, we talked about the whole movie. His stunts are insane. He's
Yeah.
amazing throughout this whole movie. The fighting is awesome. He's funny as hell in it too, in his second language. So that's
Yeah.
what gives it that little boost to me. Like, he had that language barrier and he still overcame it and was really funny. Like I said, all the action was great. He killed this performance and he's my MVP.
Yeah. No, 100% well deserved. And that's why I also gave him my MVP.
Hey.
And it's literally majority. Like I don't repeat everything you said, but the first line I had to, I was like, bro, this despite the language barrier,
Yeah.
this guy was ad libbing with Chris and kind of just going on the spot. It's just like, it's one thing to like also do it, like just deliver like your comedic timing being on
Hmm.
point, but it's also being able to ad lib and also just like there's different senses of humor. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure like the sense of humor he's used to, like that he's done in some of his films, is then maybe I'm sure there's similar slapstick properties that are in like those like Chinese action films versus like our action films or like I guess North American action films, but it's just so well done. Like it fits so well. Like the chemistry between these two, that's kind of like a nod to like kind of both of them. It's just
Hmm.
it's crazy how they have this chemistry. They walked on set without like talking before. Sometimes characters do the thing where it's like, oh, let's hang out, let's kind of build some chemistry. They didn't do all of that. They just came on set, and the fact that they could just spark like that and then make awesome trilogies of movies and it's just so awesome. And there's one specific stunt I want to point out, and I avoided saying it before because I wanted to give some love to it. It's the spot when it's back in the restaurant, like that top upstairs, and it's not the jumping drop kick onto the chair, but it's another chair spot where there's a guy going to get a gun, so he jumps over the chair and he's like sitting in it and then goes to the side and like kicks the dude to stop him, and then he's like fighting him with his feet, and he's moving the gun with his feet, moving it, kicking the guy, slides it over, and then he goes back onto the chair and like spins and then kicks a guy back onto the chair, and I'm like, that's so dope, man.
Dude, like the creative
The
fighting,
yeah,
like the fight choreography is so creative in
oh
this
yeah,
movie. Like you see other movies and there's hand-to-hand combat and it's so just normal, I want to
yeah,
say. Like it's still cool to
hmm
see people like fighting to the death, but
yeah,
like it's so unique the way he uses all the props around him. Like you
yeah.
said, he's using this chair. They have the scene where he's fighting, like holding the vase. What other movie have we seen this in? Nobody else does
No,
this. So
100%.
like it's so unique. It's so well done. It's funny too. Like it's just the tone of this movie, right? Like you feel like the stakes are so low because it's a comedy, it's a buddy
Yeah,
cop. You don't expect anybody to really die, or you're
hmm
not going to see it at least. But that's a way to make the action work then, because if you have this tone where you're like, okay, I don't really feel like anyone's really going to die here. This fight is kind of meaningless. It can be boring, but it's so exciting because it's so unique and so like nobody else is doing this
yeah,
using all these props and everything. It's so amazing. And you're right, like the chemistry with them is incredible, and improving in your second language, like it was a good point you made that like the humor is so different.
Mm.
Like I feel like if a joke that an American joke, he'd have to understand it to be able to then improv
Yeah.
off of it. So the fact that he did that, like he did it all, man. He was amazing.
There was a funny thing with that on when he was on. I think it was Conan O'Brien. I think I can't remember. I don't remember the late night show, but he was on a late night show, and I remember someone was asking like, "Oh, how?" He was joking, obviously, but he's like, "Oh, I heard you didn't love working on Rush Hour." He's like, "Yeah, I hated it." He's like, sometimes people would tell me to read a line, and everyone would be laughing, and I wouldn't even know why they were laughing. I was just kind of delivering the line. And the guy would tell me like, "Oh, that was a joke." Like some of the times he's like he didn't know what was a joke and what time was like a thing. He was just playing it certain ways. He's like, "Yeah, I hated it." I was like, people were laughing and no one explained it to me.
No one explained it to him. Damn.
They
Even after the fact.
Yeah, maybe after the fact, but I think it was all a joke though. I think maybe at first it was kind of a couple scenes were like that. He's like, okay, you guys gotta let me know why is that funny?
Yeah.
I wonder how they explained him the N-word thing. I want to see that. I need to. If that's what I would ask him, if I could interview Jackie Chan and be like, did you know going in? And he's like, that's why I signed up for the role. When I said that,
I got to say the N-word. Yeah. He'd purposely mess up the take so he could say it again. Just over and over. Like, oh, I think I could do that a little better.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
Can we run that back?
It's like, Jackie, it's not hard R. It's
yeah, Jackie, you chill out, man. All right.
And that thing about the monkey, I don't know. We don't need to ad lib.
Dude. You didn't have to bring up his credit score, man. Like, jeez. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Jackie Chan, man. It's kind of funny. We were talking about the MVP race. It would have been cool if we both went one Chris.
I was kind of thinking that too.
But
I was like, it's kind of criminal that we didn't give it to Chris Tucker. But like,
fine.
I mean, we both had to make a choice.
Yeah, we gave them love throughout both.
Yeah.
But,
and like we said, he's deserving of it as well. We had to pick one.
yeah.
And it was a 50-50 shot. But any final thoughts?
No, that's it.
Well, there you have it. Jackie Chan, certified MVP. A certified is always nice, but a certified MVP just hits different. You know what I mean?
100%.
It feels like the most notorious award. I mean, it is. It's the top award. So a certified just is nice with the MVP.
Yeah, 100%. I got to go back and see how many times that's happened. Yeah,
good point.
Curious.
Good question. Well, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. And here we have at the end of the real March Madness, the first ever. Thank you again for voting. It was really cool. We gonna do it again. I mean, I think it was cool.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think it was cool.
Yeah,
the response was pretty good, and so appreciate it. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure to check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Film Room Pod. Also, hit us with a 5-star review.
Yeah.
You know, we won't make too many Asian jokes, but if you give us a 5-star review, we'll try and keep the jokes to a reasonable point.
I thought you were to say we will if you give us a 5-star.
Oh,
the way you structured
no.
It's like we won't, but if you give us a 5-star.
Honestly, I just started talking and I didn't know where I was going with it. So
that's fair. That's fair. Just go to Dick Vitale. When you don't know what to do, just go back to
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this kid, Jackie Chan, he's a star, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to do it for us here at the Film Room Podcast. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. And Dion, what do you got for us for the end of the episode?
And remember, the only reason that Lee couldn't use Carter's ID was because, like he said, I'm not 6'1". And peace out.
Peace out.